Welcome to Corvette Today, the podcast that talks about everything Corvette, with your host, Steve Garrett, MC and DJ at one of the largest Corvette weekends in the country, Corvette Fun Fest, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 40 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-639-4231. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google" or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. Be sure and visit the updated Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteToday.com. You can also access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join the Corvette Today Facebook group there and sign up for Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at corvettetoday.ck.page. And if you like YouTube, you can subscribe to the Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube. And be sure and patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, Aerolarri Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 different unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvettes. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit aerolarri.com, that's AEROLARRI.com, and use the promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. And Soul Performance Products. Developed and manufactured in the United States, the Soul Performance Products exhaust portfolio has been tailored to elevate the experience of the world's most exciting sports cars, including the latest generation of the Corvette. Soul Performance Products, the official exhaust of Corvette Today. Also, MidEngineCorvetteForum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at MidEngineCorvetteForum.com. And a shout out to Corvette Forum and CanadianCorvetteForum.com, welcoming Corvette enthusiasts from around the world. On today's show, I thought I'd give you a wrap-up of the Amelia Island Car Concours and the unveiling of the 3 Cunningham cars from Le Mans in 1960. This was a really interesting trip and a fun show. It was really epic as far as Corvettes are concerned. First of all, let's give the backstory about the cars at Le Mans. In 1960, Briggs Cunningham took 3 cars to race at Le Mans. The #1 car crashed. The #2 car had developed engine failure. The #3 car did finish, the only one. It finished first in its class, which was the GT class, and it finished 8th overall. Now, that #3 car was owned by Chip Miller. When Chip passed away, his son Lance Miller was the steward of the car. Lance has since sold that car to a private owner who was there at the show. The #2 car was owned by Bruce Meyer from the Peterson Automotive Museum. Bruce worked with Kevin McKay from Corvette Repair in Valley Stream, New York on Long Island to arrange bringing his #2 car to Amelia Island for this unveiling. So back in the 60s, after all these cars raced, they were just sent back to the United States and put back to street spec and sold off. But then no one realized how historic these 3 Cunningham cars would be. If you listen to Corvette Today number 146 at the end of January, Kevin McKay tells the entire story of these Cunningham cars from Le Mans in 1960 and puts them back together. So the #1 car was never found until a few years ago by Kevin McKay. There's lots of legal issues that happened with that car, and the #1 car was taken to court. So finally, a judge said, sell the car at auction. Well, it was purchased in 2021 by Briggs Cunningham's grandson and given to Kevin McKay at Corvette Repair on Long Island to refurbish. So this would be the first time that all 3 cars have been back together since 1960. And they debuted there at the Amelia Island Concours. Kevin said, "Steve, you've got to be at this event. This is going to be Corvette history." So I went. So Amelia Island is a premier concourse. It's similar to Pebble Beach. This is just obviously on the East Coast in Florida. 3 days, lots of beautiful cars, lots of multi-million-dollar cars. They had lots of booths there. A lot of brands were there on display as well. This was held at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. So as you can imagine, everything was pretty darn expensive, including parking. Every day was $40 per car to park. So I flew in Friday morning, and then Friday afternoon, Kevin McKay was on a panel there at the Ritz-Carlton about Corvette racing. He was on the panel with Dan Binks, the retired crew chief for Corvette racing, Ray Evernham, also English Corvette racer Justin Bell, and then Tom Cotter. Tom is the famous barn find hunter. On display for that panel discussion was the number 3 car from 1960, along with Lance's C5R Corvette. That car was driven by Dale Earnhardt and Dale Earnhardt Jr., and it's one of Lance's all-time favorite Corvettes. Also the John Greenwood Spirit of Le Mans from 1976. After the panel, I helped Kevin and his team from Corvette Repair bring all 3 1960 cars back into the ballroom where they were going to be revealed that night. We set up all 3 of the Cunningham cars in front of the stage just the way they were set up at Le Mans before they raced in 1960. And naturally, we covered up the number 1 car for the reveal. So that night, Friday night, 300 to 400 people were attending the reveal. The event was hosted by Michael Brown from Corvette Nation fame. And first off, the documentary about the number 3 Cunningham car called The Quest that Michael Brown did was shown to that packed house of people. After that, the crew from Corvette Repair came up, they pulled away the cover on the number 1 car, and all 3 Cunningham cars were there, together again for the first time in 63 years. It was a really moving moment. As a matter of fact, it was pretty cool because Kevin McKay even dressed up as Briggs Cunningham himself. He had a 1960 race suit on and a full mask that looked eerily like Briggs Cunningham himself. It was pretty cool. He welcomed the crowd to the unveiling and invited everyone to come up and see all 3 cars together again at long last. As a matter of fact, Briggs Cunningham's daughter was there and Briggs Cunningham's grandson, who now owns that number 1 car. There were a lot of other dignitaries there. It was a terrific evening and a true milestone in Corvette history, having all 3 Cunningham cars back together again for the first time since 1960. Let's take our first break, and when we come back, I'll talk to you about what happened on Saturday at the Amelia Island Car Concours here on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft's PVD chrome finish in bright chrome or black chrome will take your Corvette to new levels. And it comes with a 5-year warranty. Whether you've taken delivery of your C8 or have one on order, learn how Wheelcraft can help you transform the look of your Corvette and save you money. Durability is a defining feature of the Wheelcraft finish. Their PVD chrome is superior to traditional chrome with a finish that is brake dust resistant and cleans effortlessly with soap and water. We can also refinish existing chrome wheels. Wheelcraft offers factory wheels on exchange, or they can apply the PVD finish to your current wheels. No matter what generation you own, call Wheelcraft to transform the look of your Corvette. With every Corvette comes a unique story, and Wheelcraft has embraced this idea. When you purchase your new set of wheels, you receive a lifetime membership to the Wheelcraft Pit Crew, granting you access to your own page on Wheelcraft's website, where you can post pictures and tell your Corvette story. And don't miss Wheelcraft on the road. See their finish in person at Bloomington Gold in June and Corvettes at Carlisle in August. Wheelcraft will also be located on the Midway at Carlisle with their very own mobile tire installation on site. Exchanges of the CH 5-spoke, Trident, 20-spoke, and Z06 wheels will take place on Installation Alley. Call early and place your order for installation at Carlisle. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call us at 833-639-4231. That's 833-639-4231. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
The Radiator Grill Store offers C8 Corvette A-pillar wind diffusers in beautiful carbon fiber or OEM gloss black that help reduce wind buffeting when a window is open. Easy installation and OEM fitment. Plus, get 10% off your total purchase with the promo code CT10 at radiatorgrillstore.com.
Car Capsule brings you the official multi-award-winning Corvette SC1 Showcase. It's the ultimate form of protection, preservation, and presentation for your Corvette. No dust, mold, or mildew. This officially licensed GM product features all 8 Corvette flag logos, Corvette branding on the panels, a carbon fiber look and feel, and interior chip onboard lighting, plus the IntelliCharge battery charger with the fan backup system. It takes only 5 minutes to inflate, and it won't collapse when you open the doors or during a power loss. It's a freestanding drive-in, drive-out operation. See it at carcapsule.com or call 219-945-9493.
You're enjoying the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Spring is here, and you want your Corvette looking its best. Dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels from Wheelcraft. Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com or call them at 833-840-5334. In the second segment, we're going to talk more about the Amelia Island Concours and the unveiling of the 3 1960 cars that raced at Le Mans here on Corvette Today. Now, Saturday at Amelia Island is called Cars and Community. You'll see multi-million-dollar cars sitting next to maybe a C7 or C6 Corvette, which is also sitting next to a Shelby Mustang, sitting next to cars you've never seen or heard before as well. It's not the big concours day. It's more of where you and I would show our Corvettes at a show on a weekend. So on Saturdays, they also have, this is really fun, it's called the Concours de Le Mans, or the Lemons Concours. I don't know if you ever watched Chasing Classic Cars with Wayne Carini, but he goes to this Amelia Island Car Concours every year, and he always buys a lemon car to display at the Concours de Le Mans. It was fun walking through that section and seeing that. As a matter of fact, when I parked my rental car, that was the first thing I came upon was the Concours de Lemons, or Le Mans. Porsches were all over the place, very, very strong. I can't tell you how many Porsches I saw driving up and down the streets, on the lawn. It was amazing. I mentioned that to someone I was walking with, and they said, yeah, Porsches are always out in full force at Amelia Island. So I'm walking up and down the aisles of cars, and they're all on the golf course there at the Ritz-Carlton. So at the end of the row, I come up on a guy who owns one of the C8 Cunningham 60th Anniversary Le Mans Series Corvettes. Have you heard of these? These are really pretty cool cars. I see them advertised in various magazines. Cunningham Automotive was started by Briggs Cunningham, and it still exists today. So in honor of this from Le Mans, they're taking C8 Corvettes and making honorary cars in honor of these 3 Cunningham Corvettes, and they're available for purchase. There are only 60 of them made, and each car is $160,000. They're very cool cars, lots of carbon fiber. They're white cars with the dual blue racing stripes, just like the 1960 cars that raced at Le Mans. Lingenfelter has enhanced the engine, and each C8 Corvette has added special touches to the trunk and the front liners, also exposed carbon fiber on the trunk and the front lids, special door sills, B-pillar badging, and lots more. So the owner of this car was talking to people when I walked up, and I didn't want to bother him. But when he was done with those other people, they walked away, and he saw me still looking at his car, and he comes over. I was checking out his baby, which, by the way, was the number 7 car out of 60 cars. He introduced himself. His name was Wayne. We were talking about his Corvette, and he said, "Hey, aren't you Steve Garrett?" And I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "Steve, I love your podcast and your show." I was stunned. I was shocked. I said, "You know about Corvette Today?" He said, "Steve, I haven't missed an episode in 2 years." Well, naturally, I was pretty shocked and amazed all at the same time, and I thanked Wayne for being a faithful Corvette Today follower. Then he said something to me that has never been said to me before. He said, "Steve, would you sign my C8 Cunningham Corvette?" I was stunned. No one has ever asked me to sign their car before. I said, Wayne, I don't want to ruin or devalue your car, but thank you, I couldn't do that though. He said, Steve, actually, it's quite the contrary. I feel like your signature would add value to my C8 Cunningham car. Well, after about 5 minutes of going back and forth with Wayne, he finally convinced me to sign the frunk surround of his $160,000 C8 Cunningham Tribute Corvette. Now, you know how everybody says in the car industries, pictures or it never happened? Well, if you watch the YouTube video of this Corvette Today episode, I took 2 pictures of where I signed Wayne's car, his number 7 C8 Cunningham Corvette, and you can see him right there. Let's take our final break, and coming up, I'll talk about what happened on Sunday at the Amelia Island Concours here on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With Agreed Value Protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
VetteFinders.com is the Internet's original Corvette classified ads website, with classified ads starting at just $25, and every ad runs until your Corvette is sold. If you're in the market for a Corvette, VetteFinders.com has over 500 Corvettes for sale from all around the USA and Canada, and covering all 8 generations. Visit VetteFinders.com, the Internet's destination for buying and selling Corvettes. That's VETTE Finders.com.
Hey, honey, are you awake?
I am now.
I can't sleep. Since turning 50, I keep dreaming of a red door and a blue door, somehow knowing there are only choices for retirement.
Okay.
Through the red door, we outlive our money. We have to rely on our kids. We're stuck on a fixed income. It's terrifying.
Yeah, that would suck.
But through the blue door, our money outlives us. We retire on our terms. Our kids stay our kids, not our caretakers. We make work optional.
Yes, that's much better. That's what I want too. But what do we do?
We call True Wealth & Company at 913-653-8783. They specialize in helping successful people make work optional. They're our fiduciary Blue Door personal wealth managers.
Hey, where are you going? It's 3 a.m.
I can't sleep. I'm going to check out True Wealth & Company online at retirewithtrue.com. That Blue Door is going to be our retirement.
913-653-8783. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Investment advice offered through True Wealth & Company, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Kansas.
Welcome to the world-famous Auto Direct Corvettes, America's best pre-owned Corvette destination. Family-owned for 70 years and 3 generations, the #1 Mid-Atlantic Regional Dealer of the Year for 15 years in a row. Corvette enthusiasts nationwide all say we have the best Corvettes in the USA, with 125 Corvettes and exotics in stock. C8 and C7 Corvette Heaven is at AutoDirectCorvettes.com, 856-461-1199. You're going to love our Corvettes as much as we do. We guarantee it.
Are you ready to take your Corvette to the next level? Look no further than Classic Trim Customs. As the #1 supplier for American hydrocarbon, we've manufactured some of the most impressive Corvette parts on the market, from engine bay panels to splitters and side skirts. With over 30 years of experience in hydrographics, we've perfected the technique and use only state-of-the-art materials and equipment to ensure the highest quality and precision. Visit our website at ClassicTrimCustoms.com or give us a call at 305-258-3090 to learn more about our products and services. Whether you want to create a show-stopping ride or just add a touch of personalization, the sky is the limit with Classic Trim Customs. Let us help you create the Corvette of your dreams.
This is the Corvette Today podcast with Steve Garrett.
Thanks once again for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Spring is here. You want your Corvette looking its best, so dress it up with bright chrome or black chrome wheels from Wheelcraft. Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call them 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. We are talking about the Amelia Island Concours, where all 3 Cunningham Corvettes that raced in 1960 at Le Mans were back together for the first time in 63 years. The final day was Sunday. Sunday is the big concours day. I got smart. I arrived early, about 7:30 in the morning, and I got to park along the street that leads up to the Ritz-Carlton instead of parking for $40 a day. So that worked out pretty well. I started walking in, and there was a McLaren P1 when they let everybody into the car concours at 10 o'clock. It had a root beer type of finish, kind of like the caffeine finish on the C8 Corvettes. It was probably a $15 million car, and there it was on the green. It was roped off, you couldn't touch it, but man, that was so cool to see. Lots of Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Aston Martins, and Bentleys. The highlights were seeing some of my favorite Lamborghinis that were there that I had loved growing up. There was a purple 50th anniversary Diablo there. I was drooling over that. Some Countaches and some Muras as well. Ferraris. Lots of Ferraris, many vintage ones that were several millions of dollars. Also, Ferrari had a Monza SP2 on display, which is really, really cool to see, the new one. Also, Ford had quite a few GTs, and they were open for display. You could almost get in them. Many of these cars are not roped off, so you can really get up close and personal just looking at the cars. I was really excited to see a Bugatti there. They had an EB110 on display. That was so cool to see. Also, lots of McLarens were on display. As you walked up to the Ritz-Carlton, they had a display right there in the Circle Drive in front of the hotel itself. That was really, really sharp. Maserati had some MC20s there on display. That is their new hypercar offering. It was also great to see Glickenhaus. Glickenhaus had two cars there. They are an American racer. So many of these cars I've seen in pictures and videos, but never in person. You could get up close and personal with them. They were not roped off. One of the highlights I thought was pretty cool. They had 4 Ferrari Enzos there together on display. There were 2 red ones, a yellow one, and then a navy blue Enzo. I had never seen a navy blue Enzo before, either in person or in pictures. So they were all 4 there together. That was really cool to see. Also, they had an Aston Martin Valkyrie. This is their new hypercar. It was just sitting there. It was wide open. You could almost sit down and start the car. You could walk right up to it, look inside. It was really, really cool. A lot of car brands were there too, on display with big booths on Sunday. General Motors had a large booth. It was really cool to see that. And they had the new Hummer EV, a Buick Wildcat EV concept cars, and they had 2 C8 Corvette E-Rays. They had the Launch Edition spec, which is the silver with the new racing stripe, and then they had a red mist metallic one there, and I'd never seen a red mist or a red E-Ray in person at all or even in pictures. So that was really cool to see that sitting next to the Launch Edition spec. Polestar also had their brand new car there. That was really cool to see. And again, if you watch the video to this episode, you can see all these pictures on the video from YouTube. It was also great to see a mix of classic cars that you could just walk up to and also concept cars that were not roped off. There was a C8 Z06 on the lawn, which I was glad to see, well represented, along with some C7s and some C6s. It was also interesting to see there was a Corvette there. I want to tell you about this. It was from 1955. It was GM's 1955 proposal car. So this car was supposed to show at GM what they could do with body style changes that they could make to the 1953 Corvette. This was Harley Earl's styling department that did this car. So this was SO2151. It was completed in March of 1955. So from 1954 to 74, the car was virtually hidden in California. In 75, a man named George Campbell, who lives in Oregon, saw it advertised in Hemmings for $3,500. It was sold with a California pink slip, and George owned the car for 40 years and never had it titled. Well, the man who owns the car now had it titled, completely restored it, and I talked to him, gave him one of my cards from Corvette Today. It was really, really cool to see. Lots of old vintage racers were there. A Mercedes 300 SL Gullwing was there. That's a cool car. There was also from Ford a Air Force Thunderbirds tribute car and a Ford Mustang. That was really neat to see. I'm not a blue oval guy. I'm a GM and Chevrolet guy, but it was still neat to see. And finally, the 3 1960 Cunningham Corvettes were on the lawn as well. As a matter of fact, they were sitting right in front of the GM stand. The number 1 Cunningham Corvette was judged, with Kevin McKay holding court with all the judges, showing them the finer points of the number 1 car. The number 3 car was judged best in class out of the 10 cars in its class and got that top award. It was so fun. This is my first time at a major concours car show, and I hope it won't be my last. Congratulations to Kevin McKay and all of his crew at Corvette Repair in Valley Stream, New York on Long Island. That car, the number 1 car, looked fantastic. It was so cool to see all 3 Cunningham cars that raced in Le Mans in 1960 together again for the first time in 63 years. Thanks for listening to Corvette Today, and please be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today podcast. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. Soul Performance Products at soulpp.com, the official exhaust of Corvette Today. True Wealth & Company at retirewithtrue.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels. Get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at aerolarri.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at chevyusa.com.
You've been listening to Corvette Today with Steve Garrett. If you'd like to contact Steve with any thoughts on the podcast or ideas for guests on Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. Or connect with Steve on social media on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using @SteveGarrettDJ. Thanks again for listening to Corvette Today.